In the scorched cradle of the East African savanna, where the sun bleeds red into the cracked earth and acacia skeletons claw at a merciless sky, Jack Riker found something he thought lost forever: peace. A battle-scarred mercenary, forged in the fires of forgotten wars, he'd traded his rifle for a quiet life among the villagers, tending fires, teaching the young ones the edge of a blade, and holding close the woman who mended his wounds and the child who called him father. But in this wasteland, peace is a fragile truce, whispered on the wind like the distant cackle of hyenas, hungry for the hunt. It came at midnight, a storm of dust and fury. Engines roared like thunder across the plains, dirt bikes slicing through the dark, their riders masked in the snarling hides of beasts, hyenas twisted into symbols of a cult that worshipped chaos and cull. Torches bloomed into infernos, huts crumbled to ash, and screams tore the night asunder. Jack fought like a demon unchained, his machete singing through flesh and bone, but they were too many, too feral. He cradled her dying form amid the rubble, her blood warm on his hands, the necklace she wore slipping from fingers gone cold, the child gone, swallowed by the flames. As the raiders vanished into the haze, leaving only echoes and embers, Jack knelt in the dawn's cruel light, driving his blade into the soil like a vow etched in iron. "They took my world," he growled to the empty wind. "Now I take theirs." The trail was a vein of vengeance, pulsing through barren outposts and bone-dry oases. On a stolen iron horse, Jack pursued the ghosts of tire tracks, interrogating the broken with water and wrath until names spilled like confessions. The pack, led by Victor, a warlord scarred by the same beasts he commanded, building an empire on fear and the savannah's forgotten dead. Ambush followed ambush, jeeps flipping in slow cascades of fire, brutes felled in sand-slicked brawls where fists cracked ribs like dry thunder. Flashbacks haunted him, a younger Jack, betraying his squad in some god-forsaken jungle for a shred of mercy, only to birth monsters like these. But regret was a luxury for the living. He pressed on, stealing into camps under moonless skies, sabotaging convoys in blooms of explosive rage. Fate, that cruel jester, gifted him an ally in the shadows, a rogue tracker named Lena, eyes sharp as obsidian, hands steady with a sniper's grace. Over whiskey and maps lit by dying fires, she unveiled Victor's secret, a cursed idol, hyena carved and pulsing with the old blood rites that bound his horde. Together they forded raging rivers under lightning's lash, picking off patrols like wolves culling the weak, crept through vine-choked ruins where ancient carvings whispered of packs long devoured by their own hunger. But trust is a blade that cuts both ways. In the heart of a massacre, as Jack carved through a dozen masked fiends in a whirlwind of steel and savagery, Lena's hesitation betrayed her, a spy's mark, Victor's brand hidden beneath her skin. Rain-slashed standoffs and reluctant redemptions forged her anew, her bullet turning the tide in the end. The hyenas came at dusk, not the men, but the beasts themselves, Victor's feral legion, eyes glowing like embers in the gathering dark. Jack's camp became a frenzy of fangs and firebrands, his rifle barking defiance as he bashed and burned through the tide. Wounded but unbroken, he scaled the jagged cliffs to Victor's lair, a fortress gnawed from the rock itself, banners of hide flapping like warnings from the grave. Inner halls reeked of trophies, skulls grinning in eternal mockery as Jack ghosted through elite guards, silent as death's approach. Lena's shot shattered the ritual, lieutenants crumpling in sprays of retribution, the idol tumbling into his grasp like a heart ripped free. In the throne room's crimson glow, Victor unmasked, not man, but mutation. Eyes feral slits, claws curling like promises of pain. "You think mercy saved you once?" he rasped, voice a gravelly howl. "It birthed me." Chains whipped, machetes clashed. They grappled through pillars that crumbled like empires, blood arcing in slow defiance of gravity. Jack's past sins fueled the fury, every strike a reckoning for the boy he'd failed, the life he'd stolen back. With a final thunderous impale on the hyena totem spike, Victor laughed his last, a gurgle swallowed by silence as Jack crushed the idol beneath his boot, its dark pulse extinguished. Dawn painted the ruins gold, a fragile mercy on the freed souls Jack led from chains. The necklace found its way to a surviving child's neck, a talisman against the wild. Mounting his bike, hyena mask dangling like a conquered flag, Jack rode into the endless horizon. The savannah stretched before him, vast and unforgiving, whispering that hunts like his never truly end. In the brush, eyes gleamed, watching, waiting, but for now, the hunter breathed free.